Christian, are you ready to go back to the front line and join the Sigma 6 team to fight against Cobra?
Absolutely.
I know you're full of shit.
That's it.
I'm like, what? Before you even answer, I was thinking I'm like, okay, come on, think of something funny. Think of something funny. Think of something funny. I'm like, shit. This is what happens when two friends are the friends in the group, and where they are the ones who need. They are the ones who are not that funny at all. Where they need two or hell three other people in the group conversation in order for them to get confidence. Hey, let me try to be funny. My jokes will fail. My jokes will fail 1/10 of the time. What?
I could be funny, just not at the moment, because, reality has me down.
Well, to be fair, reality always sucks. And now because you said reality, I'm just thinking of The Matrix. Like, what is reality? Okay, so we're going to be watching G.I. Joe Sigma 6, Episode 3. And let's do this. You guys will pause the commentary track when they say to pause, and then you press play once the intro of the episode, like they're like G.I. Joe is on your side, whatever. That's me attempting to sing. Once the intro ends, it's gonna have a G.I. Joe Sigma 6 logo, but then that logo quickly fades away in like probably a second or less than a second, but it fades away really fast. Once those words / logo fade to black, then you guys will press play on this track. But until then, press pause now.
Got it.
Okay, so what can you remember from the previous episodes? Or the previous episode?
First one took place in ice, and then the second one, this kid gets introduced, and that's about it.
And Cobra escapes.
Oh, yeah, and then... Oh, that happens, nothing. Yeah. I just remember the guy with the Australian accent.
Australian accent.
The evil guy with the...
What, the one in the tube tank?
He has, like, face paint, and then, like a red...
the guy turns invisible. I forgot his name.
Yeah, don't ask me, so...
Do you think he was human then Robot Man, or he was a cyborg that evolved?
I like to think he's a dude, or he was a dude.
Mm-hmm. Who said like screw human contact? Give me a metal body and arms.
I feel like I've seen that design of the dog before.
Yeah, like it doesn't look that different from other robotic pet designs, because it's the general outline. It's the general outline of how an animal would be in robot form, and the design is just robotic parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's a problem or not, depending on your point of view. But to me, it is kind of a problem. And where for creativity, all people do is like, we'll draw an outline of the normal dog. We'll sketch as if a lot of its body is connected through robot parts, and then that's all we're gonna do. And we'll probably change the color of it. But like other than that, it's just really a dog. Like nothing really different creatively to make it seem like more futuristic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it just looks like if a dog had armor.
Mm-hmm. Like, what do you say on that? Do you not mind that, or would you prefer like just a different approach and like, come on, be creative. It's your own world.
I can't blame them because you need it to look like a dog for it to be familiar. But I am always curious, like I mean, it's a pet. Maybe don't have a dog.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind, but the way he closed it reminds me of Jurassic Park, and where the girl, I think it's the girl or the kid, then when they're hiding in the kitchen from the velociraptors.
I like how the robot doesn't hear the
electricity.
The crack of the electricity.
I want to say, meanwhile, in Eggman's ship. You remember you made that joke?
You know what? I expected narration in this kind of show.
Like a voiceover guy?
Yeah, like with like a deep manly voice.
Well, look, it looks like a giant old school Tommy gun with like where at the back of the cannon is one of those rounds, the giant rounds. Like, did you get a good look at the cannon or no?
I did not.
Okay. Thor's hammer. I just think that's hilarious because considering Thor and his hammer now, in society in general, anyway. Isn't it weird how Thor of all like fictional characters is one of the most recognizable and liked things in pop culture now, or just culture in general?
Yeah, who would have thought, right?
Yeah,
Like, 'cause I
especially
knew him
after
from,
the first
I knew
movie.
him from like, yeah, especially after the first movie. Because I only knew him from like the Marvel games, like Ultimate Alliance and shit. He would pop out, pop in
Before the
and-
movies, even, right?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you just seem
Oh,
kind of dull.
and Marvel vs. Capcom, the games, because he always shows up. He's either a fighter or like a backup fighter.
Wasn't he in the third one?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember now. I could never use him.
Yeah, I can't envision myself being good with him.
To be fair, I never met anyone who was good with him.
But there is someone out there who's like an ultra master.
Yeah, there's some, but is she the only woman in GI Joe?
In this team or in overall in this franchise?
In this show, in this team.
In this team, yeah, it's only her.
You know what? I figured since they're the good guys, they would have more women, and then the bad guys
Like
only have one.
diversity.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but no, it's just one each.
I say, now you mention it, it reminds me of what Mike from Red Letter Media said in where like Star Trek, like how open minded Star Trek was as a show and its ideologies and the message it's trying to say, but but for the longest time for its different iterations, like the female characters and we're always portrayed just like a typical like I've seen some episodes already and we're like we're like there's a part and where like a woman acts through emotion. I'm like, we can't do this. It's not the right thing. It doesn't feel right. And then and then I think it's Dr. McCoy, or Spock. One of them says that's you see that? That's why there aren't many women officers around. I'm like, wait, whoa.
That's how I know the show was written by men too.
Yeah, and like, what? Wait, what? When Mike talked about it, because I'm sure you remember when he talked about that, right? Like he and Rich, do you remember that or no?
Vaguely.
Yeah, because I guess I just watch the videos a lot more than you do, which is probably completely true. They mentioned that, and so once I got to the actual episodes and where like that kind of stuff was revealed or talked about, I'm like, whoa, this is very weird. Of Star Trek, of all programs where this kind of thinking still exists.
Yeah, they didn't exactly always practice what they preached.
No, not always, but there are moments in where they do it and they do it very well. Like I'll tell you right now, I think it was yesterday. I saw an episode, and it's one of those episodes in where when you really not really think about it, but when you just think about it yourself as the episode's going or once it's over, you think to yourself like, wow, that's a charming small episode about humans got intellectual species who have more knowledge than any person can comprehend.
Also, as you were talking, they were showing the characters' faces, and for the other woman, apparently there's another one, G.I. Joe. They didn't exactly show her like chin, so it looks like she just has like her neck and her face are like connected. So she looks like one long face.
Okay. Was that Yeah, those two things from Star Trek, and then another thing about just like how society can easily change for the better good, and like
Mm-hmm.
just like these really good, not philosophical, but like really intelligent conversations, and there were just scenes of them, of the officers just talking to one another of like, how do we handle this situation that can greatly benefit our species and our technology? How can we do this and yet trust something or someone that we don't know? Like it was just this whole interaction that made it so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like what does it all comprehend of what I'm trying to deliberate?
Yes and no.
Okay, what parts are confusing? Maybe I can answer them.
Yes, because I guess the theme of the message, and then no, because I have no idea what the episode's about. So.
Okay, so like okay, so you can't give a final thought on it until you actually see the topic in question.
Yeah.
Okay, but does it sound interesting to you? Of like, yeah, I wouldn't mind watching a 40. I wouldn't mind watching that 40-minute episode. Or actually, are you worried at some point, and where you watch the original series and you feel like it's too old, like it doesn't hold up in your eyes, beside like everything besides the topics that they discuss?
A bit, yeah, because a lot of sci-fi is hard to go back to.
Just because of the sets and the quote unquote CG they had to use because there was no money back then.
There's a certain charm to it. It's mostly, I would say, the dialogue.
For you,
You ever listen to like one of those old sci-fi movies where they just spout like sci-fi gibberish?
oh, so you mean Star Trek Discovery?
Yeah, or even to the point where they get really into their own like philosophical meanderings. They just spit out big words and big words and big words, and you're just like, this isn't a conversation. You're just like on a soapbox, just like,
Trying to sound smart.
yeah.
So Star Trek Discovery. That's all I'm hearing.
I've never seen. I'll take your word for
No,
it.
me neither. But I'm going off. We're going off of what Mike said, and I believe on what he's saying. And don't forget that little remember that little clip they did, and where it's him, Rich, and Jay pretending to be in Discovery, and then like they're trying to figure out a complication before the ship explodes. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I forget. Discovery's the new one.
Yeah, but do you remember that small like clip they did?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like that dialogue and the actions they did, which was all pretty bad, was verbatim, word for word of what happened in that episode. So many people who didn't watch Discovery, when they saw the clip, they were thinking like, oh man, this is so funny, this is so funny of you guys parroting and like making fun of something that they would do. But in
Mm-hmm.
reality, it's something that the show is actually doing. So they're just a parody of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're spouting all this nonsense about science, blah 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 blah, but none of them makes any sense, because the original Star Trek shows, like from the original Star Trek until Star Trek: The Next Generation, they actually talk to NASA people so they could get actual conversations and take ideas from what they're saying, and actually put it and try and make their science fiction more into actual science. Of course, it's science fiction,
Mm-hmm.
but they would add actual science elements and discussions layered throughout the episode.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why that's why I give Star Trek more that property, except for Discovery, much more credit than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Because in a way, they are the thing that created that genre. If not, that always existed, but not as handled correctly as Star Trek did.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Who would have known that I would have liked Star Trek this much?
Yeah, no, me neither. I never would have guessed.
But easily for me, I like Star Trek much more than Star Wars. Star Wars is fun, but that's about it.
Well, if we take it as a whole, then I guess.
Mm. So you know what's happening on screen, or you need me to elaborate?
No, I got it.
The guy's like, "I love you, car." Ugh. It's like the car said, and it's like the guy was saying in the car, "Te amo, mi amor. No te vayas de mí."
Right, the one Hispanic.
Yeah.
And only.
Yeah. To be fair, they only have one black guy. Also, wait, where's our one Asian? What's so funny?
And then like 3 white dudes.
The next season they actually do get one African, not one Native American, who talks to the spirits and has a hawk friend.
Because of course he does.
Yeah, because of course.
You know, I caught a bit of the Revenant on TV the other day.
Okay.
And I was watching it, and I'm just like, you know what? What stops me from enjoying the movie is Leonardo DiCaprio.
I knew you were gonna say that. I don't know why, but I knew you were gonna say that.
Because I caught the ending, and then I'm just like, you know what? This like, why don't I like this movie? Because it didn't get me as much as Birdman, and then or the other movies that came out that year. And I was like, why? And then I saw him, and then he was talking. I'm like, oh yeah, Leo was awful in this.
And the Revenant was the Tom Hardy show, huh?
He's fucking great.
Yeah. I swear, is there anything Tom Hardy can't do? I swear.
Has he been in a musical yet? No, he has.
Oh. Now I'm just thinking of him singing.
I could have sworn he sang. Is she French?
Who, the Baroness?
Yeah.
I think they're trying to portray her as French. I don't know for sure. Even Cobra Commander's staff, it looks like directly from a toy thing. They're like a handle. I'm gonna open it and something. An electric sword's gonna come out with it with like electricity, like what's it called? Like when electricity hits like those little white lines around it. The static. Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I think it's the static. But like, can you easily imagine a small laser sword coming out of his staff as soon as he like puts the head up?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, a best example is like Duke's attire. His attire is like toy version because you could take off his shoulder pad thing and replace it with a newer version, and the chest piece do the same thing. He's a walking toy.
I like that they're surprised that they got shot again. It's like, if it worked so well the first time, why wouldn't they do it again?
Mm.
Hey, you know what's great about this? Is that they're the only ones in that whole huge facility.
What, in terms of those three people or just the team?
No, the whole team. Like, they're the only ones in there.
Uh-huh.
It's like, if this show had, like, if they had, like, workers or, like, maintenance staff, it's like, what about us? Like, oh, no, you you go down with the building.
Hmm.
Wait, how the fuck did they get in?
In what?
The car, like...
The door's right there.
Yeah, but the doors weren't at the bottom on in ground level.
I think they like a ladder or a ramp slid down or something. I don't know. Wait, shouldn't the driver of this vehicle be the one in the middle, sitting in the middle? Actually, no. What am I thinking? For drivers in general, they're placed on the left side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
right
forget.
side is European.
Yeah, I forget that. Even they still missed. They missed the center of the building.
I don't think so.
No, they hit the back of the tower,
Oh yeah.
but like they still missed the direct like up front target.
How much is it going to cost the taxpayer to rebuild that?
Also, I think they're in Arizona. So next thing you know, all the money for the secret base was acquired through like through strip clubs and adult entertainers and drug dealers. Oh, and this is the intro. I mean, this part's in the intro.
I don't know. I've always liked that when like vehicles connect to one another to make
So,
be either one vehicle or like break apart into others.
so Transformers.
Like it, or like in the Dark Knight when the car gets blown up and it just becomes a motorcycle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that went
I
by
don't know
fast.
It did, but I've always thought that was cool.
Okay, like so, something else coming out of a vehicle,
Yeah,
or coming in to form something else.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I guess Voltron.
Okay, like, just like the idea, right? Basically.
Yeah,
Okay, like the Power Rangers thing.
yeah, essentially.
All right, so episode over. Any thoughts or a lot here? If we were paying attention, a lot of stuff did happen in this one. Scott got captured. Their base was destroyed. Cobra was able to show a sample of how powerful his army is and his intelligence, and where they thought, since our cannon can't shoot directly at their base because they're surrounded by rocks, we're gonna make these towers these reflectors alongside the cannon, so it could bounce off our lasers, so it can accurately destroy their base. Like, hey, that's a smart move.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I figure, but I mean, if they're strong enough to destroy a base, I figure they're strong enough to go through some rocks. But shenanigans.
Yeah, so then this one to me was more fun because, like, okay, stuff is happening, not just talking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we were talking.
Yeah, but we were having good conversations. Half of them was me just talking about other things besides G.I. Joe, Star Trek, and okay. Thank you guys for listening for episode 3. This episode was fun. I got nothing else really. You hear us next time for episode 4. Until then, have a good day.